I have 3 simple questions that can help you if you're an overthinker. Now, I want to give preface that these 3 questions I gained from a book that I read called Soundtracks by John Acuff, which is an excellent book. The author is really funny. I listened to the audio version of the book and it was great. So I highly recommend it. But there's 3 questions that the author brings up in the book, and the book is all about overthinking and flipping the script on overthinking and actually allowing thinking to become a superpower in your life. So it was really a practical book. So these 3 questions that he says to ask yourself whether or not you need to hold on to a thought or if you need to let it go or, kind of replace the broken soundtracks in our life. So the 3 questions that he asks himself is it true? Is it helpful? And is it kind? I love those 3 questions. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is what you're thinking about true? Now, sometimes things feel true and they're not necessarily factually true, So it's really hard, especially if you're an emotional person. Sometimes our feelings just feel so intense and real. And so we have to be careful because feelings they're great indicators as far as letting us know if there's a deeper issue that needs to be dealt with, but they're horrible dictators. They can't lead our life. So number 1, is it true? Number 2, is it helpful? Have you ever wasted time mulling over or worrying about either a meeting or a certain conversation that you're going to have, and you worried about it rather than kind of being relaxed and letting it go and just trusting that it's going to be okay? So you got to think about, are your thoughts actually helpful? Is it helping you to be fully present with your responsibilities, with your role, with your present relationship? Or are you constantly like somewhere else in your mind? I know I've been guilty of that. So is it true? Is it helpful? And lastly, is it kind? Are you critical of yourself? Are you critical of your choices? Do you think less of yourself? Do you think that you don't have what it takes? We've all dealt with that, but we need to embrace thoughts that propel us forward and serve us well. Kindness is so important. We've got to be our ally, our own ally versus our own worst enemy. Some of us struggle with that inner critic. That inner critic can be so loud. Some of us have an inner critic that is actually just echoes of things, horrible things that were spoken to us. So again, part of dealing with things is looking at the root of issues. So some of us need to dig deeper, maybe work with a counselor to deal with some deeper wounds that need to be healed. But those 3 practical questions can really help you to learn how to get a handle on positive thinking and taking thoughts captive that do not serve you well. That's what it looks like. Asking yourself those questions. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it kind? And if it doesn't pass the test of those 3 questions and it's a no, then we need to flip the script. We need to replace that broken soundtrack and replace it with something life-giving that moves us forward. There's so much help available if you are going through a stretch of time that it's a struggle for you. If you're going through thoughts of anxiety and things, talk it out with a coach, with a counselor, with a friend, and address those things. You can change your life. What you focus on is what you give power to in your life. And if your thoughts are not serving you well, ask yourself those 3 questions. And if you need to go deeper, go there, set an appointment, and there'll be people ready to help.